Hello, good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Ifako. This is Ifako Radio, and this is newspaper review this morning. My name is Victor Demi, and I'm here with
Online David, good morning.
good morning. So let's get straight into the business. I will be reading from the Nation this morning. ASU rejects federal government loan scheme for lecturers and others. University of Jos chapter of Academic Staff Union of Universities has rejected the federal government loan scheme for university lecturers and other workers in tertiary institutions. Professor Jobe Monus, the chairman of the union in the university, said this during the press conference on Tuesday in Jos. The news agency of Nigeria reports that the federal government had about 2 weeks ago announced that tertiary institution staff support fund can now go into full swing. The move, according to government, is a welfare and empowerment initiative for academic staff and non-academic staff in Nigeria tertiary institutions. This initiative for me is actually uh, the one that the ASU would not welcome. You know what I'm saying? Because the past government has had a lot of promises that they failed with academic staff development universities, and I don't think government now bringing something when the government still has a lot of money to pay them, they will not key into a loan scheme that they would have the money that they collect that they would have to pay back. Well, what do you think?
Uh, well, this is Nigeria. First and foremost, we need to know the nitty-gritties about the loan scheme. We need to get more information about the loan scheme proposed by the federal government to us. We know that there's so many issues around ASU and federal government in time past, I think as far back 2009 to date that have not been fulfilled. So I think what I will tell the government of the day, maybe through the Honorable Minister of Education, which is the coordinating minister for ASU, I think they should be able to sit on a round table and discuss those things out and iron it out. So, but it should not, we just beseech ASU not to just throw out that opportunity, because it will go all across the globe. We know there are schemes that also help the academias, and not only the academia sector, but every other sector. So they should just not throw the baby and the water away. They should also look inward and see maybe it will add value to them and to the academic sector. So both of them should still sit down on the round table and iron it out effectively.
Another thing I would say is that I'm sorry to say, but if the lecturers are not actually selfish, the government rolled out the loan scheme for students. They are even the one that encourage students to take the loan to pay their fees. Why can't they take the loan? Because the new academic reform, yeah, in University of Lagos, when I was in University of Lagos, I was paid just 16,000 naira. Because
And now?
now it's over 100,000 naira.
Yes.
So, but the president is magnanimous enough to bring out this loan scheme for it to cushion the effect of the change in this thing. But I don't know why they are now so.
Victor, to me, if you look, we know that so far so good. This government have been trying, because have been trying in the area of academic. If we look at the budget of allocated to education have increased, and if we look, we have so many dedicated infrastructure development all across higher institutions in Nigeria today. So there's a lot that needs to be fixed, that needs to be done. There's a lot that needs to be done that the federal government and the state, the state government, and ASU need to put together in the area of academic. And for students, you know that I keep saying, education is not cheap. Yes, this is the country where a medical doctor, in the course of 6 to 7 years, can be trained with nothing less than, maybe, let me even put it, 5 million.
5 million.
5 million.
If I'm not a medical doctor,
Yeah.
but if I calculate how much I paid throughout my stay in school, I don't think it
Okay, let me just put in Nigeria
Yeah.
that because the government have been doing a lot, right from the military day to where we are, the democratic setting, and the government of today. If we look at it, education is not cheap because I can tell you the amount of what people pay across the ocean, the overseas, where they study either in Asia or in the Western world. So they pay with just sum of amount. For example, medical doctor pay as close to about £40,000 in the UK. So, and I, of course, detour to the US and Canada and even the Asian country. And even people that I was surprised that I know of somebody that went to pay over £13,000 to study project management, masters in project management. And I know people that over here in Nigeria, that's the same cost in Nigeria. I don't think they spend up to £1 million. And that is why there's migration. After they have been educated, they've acquired that cheap education here. People take advantage of that and go in key into the Japa syndrome that have gotten into the system and move out of the country. So I think the government is trying their best in that area. They are trying their best in that area. So we need to work on that, and I think Nigeria needs to appreciate the government so far.
So let's move on to.
Okay, and that will take me to the Punch newspaper.
Still related
Academics. I think all the headlines today is on academic. So I think this advice read that 239 first-class lecturers quit UNILAG over poor pay. That is XVC Professor I know Ogudipe Oluwatoyin Ogudipe. He's one of my favorite lecturers in UNILAG. I have a close relationship with him. So so you remember this crisis? There was a crisis in UNILAG.
Yes, that was when I was a student of UNILAG. I was even the president in UNILAG then, and when the crisis came and they tried to bamboozle him. I'm even happy that I came back because he's one of the VCs that actually listens to students. So
yes.
One of the
and for things like this coming out from him, okay, let us read through the few paragraphs here. No fewer than 239 first-class graduates of the University of Lagos employed as lecturers left the institution within 7 years. Immediate past Vice Chancellor of UNILAG, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogudipe, disclosed this on Tuesday while speaking as a guest lecturer at the Punch Forum. Team Innovative, Funding of Functional Education in the Digital Age, held at the Punch Place, Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Rolling out statistics, Ogudipe said UNILAG retained 256 first-class graduates as lecturers between 2015 and 2022, but only 17 remain in the institution employed as of October 2023. He attributed the marked exodus to poor remuneration, unconducive working conditions, and low motivation among all. Wow, I think I would like to agree with Professor Ogudipe on this because it's so alarming that over 239 first-class lecturers quit UNILAG. And the point that, according to what has been stated in the Punch newspaper, wages, unconducive working condition, and low motivation. So if we look at these three key things, these are the three keys. These are the keys that make people want to come to the office. So because just like yesterday that we were talking on the Ifako radio on the newspaper review, we talked about sustainability and sustainability in the workplace, and we talk about corruption. How do we reduce corruption? So because to me, lecturers are also public, and they are public servants, and because they got their pay by the federal government or the state government, they have a subvention being given to them. So, and if they are not well paid, I don't think that they will be able to concentrate, because when you pay the lecturers to according to what they should be paid, according to their peer in other Western world or in other continents of the world. So I believe that will limit corruption. And when you give them some bonuses, that will be motivation. And when you give them some research and innovation, because academians are meant to give us direction in the area of innovation, in the area of generally STEM. Let me put it STEM. So, and that will enhance them to be busy, and they will not be looking into the hands of one master student or PhD student or even undergraduate student to make money.
Extra cash. That is not. You know what? I was one of my friends finished with the first class, and he's actually doing his masters right now. In fact, he's even rounding up as you speak. And when I was talking to him, that Liverpool doesn't even have the mind to stay. He said, no, I don't want to stay. I would rather go into the corporate world than to stay back in school. But what I want to say is that, this time frame that Professor Budibe talked about, I was in school in those periods. And today, you see a lecturer, and tomorrow you don't know that he's a lecturer. Because the lecturer has traveled. In fact, at the time that I was leaving school, we were low on lecturer. The VC, the current VC professor, current VC, that professor, what's that our
okay, who was the acting? From Professor Budipe.
Yeah,
I can't remember her name, but
I still even talked about that this morning. It's really funny how I've forgotten it. I apologize, my busy. So she had to create she had to get in some adult staff that had come in
as a part-time lecturer.
Yes. That's how bad it was when I was.
No, that's so bad.
But now I think they are now stabilizing again and everything.
And I think it's not only to UNILAG, it's all across all higher institutions. I think the government needs to look into it. And whatsoever, I think, because if we don't get it right also in the area of academia, we'll be losing a lot of potentials. And a lot of potentials that will help the STEM to stabilize and grow in this country in the area of research and innovation, R&D, research and development. So it is very, very essential that the government should look into this and stop this jackpot syndrome. Because why will I be a lecturer? I want to place myself in their shoe. Why would I be a lecturer and I'm checking, or I have this whole Rekiti Volkswagen, and my students are coming in with Forerunner, Prado, and everything. So there's this intimidation. They're human.
Yes.
The blood and water flows in their veins. So I think
in fact, it's considered that I will flip some lecturer. I'm telling you.
And which ought not to be. So with such a lecturer, be no. So I think they should look into that. Federal government, Ministry of Education at the federal level, and of course at the Ministry of Education, tertiary education at the state level, all across the state, 36 state and FCT, should look into this and to make sure that we place the education at the right place where it ought to be, and the welfareism, motivation, and their wages should be looking. And that will also make me to talk about public and political and public office holders. They should look into it that there should be a price to pay. They should set up a law. Once their salary is being hijacked to standard, let us take a cue from what is happening in Singapore. Let's take a cue from what is happening in China. Once you are public office holder, you are well paid up. And when you are well paid, you are not allowed to take any penny outside the country or to run any business. They will take their family, their wife, if it's the man that is appointed or the wife that is elected, or they will take the entire family all across prison yards, like the prison yard we have in Nigeria. This is Kirikiri.
Show them that if you
are found wanted, we are paying you to the standard that we are well paid and well motivated. So just concentrate on the job that you are being given, either as an executive or the legislator or judiciary or public office holder in generally, and even the civil servant. Because when we're talking about corruption, if we did not pay these people right, corruption can never decrease. And that is so. I think that is for me, and that is from us from Ifako Radio today. So, any other area?
Let's just move on. I'm still on the nation. Where Governor Zodima approves 104,000 minimum wage for Imo workers. Governor Zodima of Imo State has approved the new minimum wage of 104,000 naira for civil servants in the state. Zodima made this known during a meeting with various labor union leaders on Tuesday night at the government house in Owerri. The news agency of Nigeria reports that the government increased the minimum wage from 76,000 naira to 104,000 naira. Similarly, the minimum wage of doctors now has been raised from 215,000 naira to 503,000 naira, while that of tertiary institution teachers increased from 119,000 naira to 222,000 naira.
Wow, that's a good one. That's a
I
good one.
have a reservation. Why the doctors and others got almost 100% increment? Why is the fee for tertiary institution teachers that we were talking about 119,000 to 222,000 naira?
So that thing we've said it, there ought to be a review. But first and foremost, let us even appreciate the governor so far, because the governor have done very well. He has raised the bar. Though there may be some issues, there may be some clause which need some adjustment, most especially in the area of the civil servant and of course the lecturers, the academians, both at the university, polytechnic, monotechnic, and the college of education. So there is need that these people also, their wages need to be increased. If you give the medical sector over 100%, why not give the public servants as well? But I think the governor at least has raised the bar, and I know that other states will follow suit. So in order not to avoid any crisis in your state, Governor Uzodimma, you've done well, but you still need to do some amendment. Most especially because without the academia, my governor, Governor Uzodimma, you will not be on that seat. Because our teachers, not only, in fact, when I'm talking about academia, I'm not talking about only the higher institutions in Nigeria. We are also talking about the teachers that taught us from the primary level to secondary to the tertiary institution. And don't forget the technical colleges, please. Without them, no one would have imparted knowledge into us. Those people have paid their dues, have they contributed to the economy of this country, and they contributed to our lives. Every one of us, wherever stage we are today, they've contributed and they impacted into our life. We should also look into their welfareism and their wages with an eagle eyes and increasing the way it should be to their counterpart in the Western world. And I'm sure by so doing, we will be able to see that change that we are really clamoring for.
Well, so kudos to the governor, because honestly, raising that minimum wage again, even after just increasing it, shows that he is also sensitive to the plight of the people. Yes. You understand? Because it is all over the way that the increase in the minimum wage is not that okay. So those of people are managing and also, but for him to be able to like swing into action and make this kind of change, it means he also listens to the people. So kudos to governor.
And that's with his present economic situation, and that which is not peculiar to Nigeria, is all over the world. It's a global issue. But Nigeria, I will look at it, even the 100 and how much? 119 or 107? The minimum wage. 100 and what? Did he increase it to?
He increased it to 200. Let me check this. I had to.
Because when we look at it to the current exchange rate, it's not even up to $80.
Okay, with the current exchange.
So we look at it, then I don't think it's up.
Increase it to 104,000.
104,000. So if we look at it, maybe we'll be talking about $85 as minimum wage. So I think we can still do better. But kudos to the governor. You really listen to the plight of the people. You call the heart of the people. And I believe the other 35 state government and the FCT will also cue into that, because we know that currently the economy is not friendly to all. So we're moving to the Vanguard newspaper this morning. On the pages of the Vanguard newspaper, and I'm going into politics. It says presidents in northern blocks oppose PDP zoning ticket to South. Says who? Vanguard newspaper had it read, the polity had a foretaste of what to expect in 2027. Presidential election yesterday at the PDP zoning its presidential ticket to the South is raising dust. Coming against the backdrop of President Bola Tinubu, another southerner being backed by critical bloc of the APC to stand for re-election on the ruling party platform. It means any northerners vying for PDP or APC presidential flag is on its own. Both the PDP and the APC have argued that their decision align with the 8 years unwritten rule of power rotation between northern and southern Nigeria. Picked by the development, some northern stakeholders alleged marginalization, vowed to speak against the move with their vote in 2027, warning that PDP decision has further weakened its influence in the north. So the game now started for 2027, and that is what I always call is the game of throne, is the game of power, and is a game to pull down and pull up whichever way the dice is being cast. And we know that recently they all tested the microphone, and we know where it is during the last by-election. Now the northern blocks are seeing the move by the NEC. I think they have their 102nd NEC meeting that over the weekend, and that is the PDP, and where the presidential ticket has been zoned to the south. And when we say that zone to the south, simply means the entire south, which is southwest, south, southeast. So the three geopolitical zones in the south have opportunity to vie for the PDP ticket, in as much that you are a PDP party carrying member. And of course, not only that, and we know that this thing did not go down well with the northern bloc, and you know the northern bloc with their population, they know how to play the game. They know the nitty-gritty, and they know how to play the politics and the politics. You understand what I mean? The politics and the politics part of it. But it did not go down with the northern part of the bloc in the northern part. So what do you think that it may happen in 2027, Victor?
What I think is, first of all, the northern bloc should rest. You understand? Because I love the way what you read there. There is an unwritten rule that there is an unwritten power rotation rule that if the north uses it, yes, the south should also use it, yes. Even though I don't believe that, because in the spirit of federal character, we have to, even though I don't believe that PDP zoning to the south is the smartest move for them, even though I know that's my personal belief. You know why? Because the sitting president, who is doing very well, whose economic policies are shaping the country, is from the south. You understand? And if you look at it, most of the places where they have a struggle is the south, and most of the south governors are now aligning with the APC. Now, if they are zoning to the south, they have just two southwest governors. Just two southwest governors. In the south, Governor Eno and Governor Borori are now in the All Progressive Congress.
Yes.
So that means they are zoning to a zone. They are zoning that presidency to a geopolitical zone that they are losing grip. You understand? Not to say that I'm not saying that they are also strong in the north, but I'm not saying that they are already losing grip in the south. And I just think they just want to play politics of division for maybe
Divide and rule.
they want to divide the sitting president vote from the south. You understand?
I think I want to agree with you, Victor, that the unwritten rule, rotation of power between the north and the south should be standardized. And that should be added. I think that is what that affected PDP in the 2023 general election, where the major opposition party at that time, which was PDP, were unable to get it wrong. It was a smarter move, let me take from your word, it was a smarter move this time around for them to right the wrong, zoning the PDP presidential ticket to the south. And of course, and if we look at each of these blocks, either in the southwest, if we break the southwest into three, if we break the south into three, which is the southeast, south-south, and the southwest, we'll look at, okay, who has the power, the higher power? Okay, let's look at it statistically. In the southwest, APC is controlling 4 states. PDP control 2. If we go to the southeast, if we go to the southeast, I think we have 5 states there. Yeah. So out of the 5 states, 1 Labour Party, 1 APGA, 1 APC, and 1 PDP.
Is it 1 PDP? There are 5 states.
There are 5 states. In the south,
1 APC,
1 APGA, 1 Labour Party. Okay.
2 PDP.
Yes. And if we go to the south-south, so in the south-south, we have it basically there. So I think there's still a lot to be done by the political parties. But I believe that each political parties, the Game of Thrones, how it works, I believe that everybody will be able to get it right. So all we just need, what Nigerians are looking forward is that, tell us your manifest. Let us see your manifest. Let us see where you are driving at. Let us see that you already have a plan for Nigeria, and market your manifesto to the heart of Nigeria. So we'll be able to study it and know that you just, and when you want to criticize rightly, with facts.
Because we have facts Africa. So someone even very bad from the southeast, passed the comment.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago when he visited the president.
That economic reform is shaping the country in the right direction and all those sort of things.
But the honest truth is that we know that the president is working that and his economic team are working tirelessly day in and night. But the major issue that the people at the grassroots are yet to feel it.
Yeah.
And the grassroots politics start from the grassroots. And the policy, I just want to plead to Mr. President and his team to start working that these policies are being felt at the grassroots, not at the home.
That's why the state governors
should also complement and the local government.
Just brings me to ask a very, very important question. So does that mean Oyesan Wike has been right since? You know that now they have zoned to the south and zoned the party chairmanship to the north.
Yes,
that is what Wike was fighting for then, and they did not do it.
Not only Wike, the G5. The G5 and that was what was in the press yesterday. That is the spokesman of Oyesan Wike said that at last his boss has been vindicated. Not only he did not give it only to Oyesan Wike, he also gave it to the G5 as a dead. And I think if they were have listened to him, it would have been a tough one for the ruling party to come on board. But today, I think the G5 governors have been vindicated. So let's see how the game goes.
So moving on, I'll be reading from the Nairametrics now. Federal government launches portal for Nigerians to report housing estate fraud. Federal government has launched a digital portal under the oversight of the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development that allows Nigerians to report fraudulent activities in housing estates, submit evidence, and track the progress of their complaint. The disclosure was contained in a statement released by the Ministry on Tuesday. The portal is accessible via www.report.fmud.gov.ng, and it provides citizens with a safe and user-friendly platform to report incidents of fraud in housing estates across the country. Honestly, the way the government moves recently is just like maybe it is when they are talking about it, they are listening. They are just, do you know? Do you know that recently there has been a trend of all these real estate companies selling the city set of land. They take it to a land, they give you the seat, and at the end of the day, you notice that I think one of the, I don't want to mention any company, has been in the news for a very long time now, where somebody has been calling them out repeatedly, and
Is that the one that pay for me then?
I don't even know.
I need that, so I don't know what I know. I think I had that.
You would have an
So I
idea
think
of-
there should be a reform in the housing sector, most especially the developers,
This is
because
a-
all these developers, most of them, they need to be accountable and they need to account. They need, so there should be the regulation body from the federal government that may pass through the National House of Assembly, because we know that the population is increasing by the day and housing is a major key thing, because when we talk about the simple analysis of the way of life of human being, the needs or the wants of man is just food, clothes, and shelter. That is the basic things, needs of life. And that shelter is accommodation. And developers, housing, developer and housing is the main key. They need to regulate that sector, because a lot of developers, housing estate managers are defrauding Nigerians here and there. So, and I believe that the ICPC or EFCC should also put their satellite on that sector. So, I think that will take me to the Punch newspaper, and this one is on the sad note. What happened yesterday in Kaduna, Abuja train route. Probe begins as Abuja Kaduna train mishap, injured 6. Well, we thank God that we were just being injured, not dead. So there's no casualty there, just injured. We thank God. I saw it in one of the TV stations yesterday. A passenger train traveling from Abuja to Kaduna derailed on Tuesday morning, leaving several carriages overturned and triggering panic among those on board. The incident occurred around 11:09 a.m. at kilometer 49 between Kuba Station and Asham Station. According to eyewitness, the derailment happened. The derailment happened without warning, causing confusion and chaos as passengers rushed out of the affected cabin. 6 passengers were confirmed injured. It is a complete pandemonium. People who were confirmed to be saved were seen running in different directions. It was pure panic. One eyewitness who simply identified himself as Abubakar said. It was a really sad one. I think the government needs to investigate this and fix the rail track, because I believe that by now there should be camera, there should be security that will be able to capture what is happening on the rail line, because now Nigerians, the government, the previous government and government of today have invested billions of dollars on rail transportation, that Nigeria are now trying to queue into the rail transportation system because it's more affordable, it's fast, and security. And we know that we have each security issue in this country. I believe that there should be camera, there should be drones that will be checking on the rail track, so that when, because we know that what do you call those people that pick iron, condemn, what do you call them?
Scavengers.
Scavengers. That we know some time ago, last year, that we saw that some scavengers have gone into the rail track and be picking some of the bolts and some of the nuts that tied that that is on the rail track. So I believe that no, it's not acceptable. That should not be acceptable in a country like this. So the NRC, the Nigeria Railway Corporation, and its partners should look into that area, so that such things that happened yesterday never repeat itself again.
So I'll be reading from channels. This is like a reform in the Ministry of Agriculture. President Tinubu orders immediate ban on Russian nut exports. President Tinubu has approved a 6-month ban on the export of Russian nut to boost local processing and protect and grow Nigeria's share industry. The ban, which is with immediate effect, is subject to review on exploration and specifically aimed at boosting Nigeria's share value chain to generate around $300 million annually in short term. Vice President Kashimawo announced the president directive during the multi-stakeholder meeting at the presidential villa on Tuesday, called on Federal Ministry of Finance and other relevant government agencies to fast track enforcement. You know, that's we have been talking about economic reform since morning, and honestly, this is a right step in that direction. And this, if this is successful, we would rake in $300 million annually, and that's a good one from Mr. President. And we hope that this kind of initiative also come in other sectors, not just agriculture, because these kind of reforms now are what will actually keep improving the confidence of the people in the president, and we make people know that yes, the president is actually he actually knows what he's doing to stabilize the economy.
Yeah, I think I'll give it to the president of the Federal Republic at the time, because of the father of the nation and you know what is right. And of course, I know that you listen to the yearning of its citizen. So I think it's a good one and it's a good report. I will be moving to Vanguard newspaper. This will be my last review on the Vanguard newspaper for today. Vanguard newspaper said that protect government facilities in your community. Akpabio charges Nigeria. So Abuja President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has urged Nigeria to maintain and secure government facilities in their immediate community. Speaking while commissioning project in Ika local government area of Akwa Ibom State, Akpabio said, "My duty as a representative in the Senate is to ensure that I bring projects that you ask for in the overall good of the people. You, as the beneficiary of this project, owe government a duty to protect the facilities so that they won't be vandalized or destroyed by enemies of progress. In other words, I want community to own this project, and by so doing, government at all levels will be encouraged to do more." So it's just, I think, what the Senate President is saying is that when you see something, you say it. When you see, you say, and it will be sorted. So, because I think if we look at why the government on the Nisap track yesterday, that happened yesterday. So I believe that the people in that community, they will be able to know what happened to that track, because that track had just not go like that. So I think Nigeria should take responsibility, because one, you may say that you are not the one that constructed it, but what is your taxpayer money? Is that you pay tax indirectly or directly? Your money is involved. So if those projects are being vandalized, you are coming back to pay it either directly or indirectly. So let us own personal possession. The government property, let us own personal possession. Even when there is crisis, even when there is a riot, we should protect the traffic light. We should protect government-owned property. It is our property. It's not the property of the people that are serving us or that are representing us either as executive or legislature or judiciary. It is our money. It is a common wealth that was being used to build this facility for our good and to ease our journey or for our community development. So our own duty as a Nigerian, as a community leader, as a resident, as a landlord associate, as an what do you call them? We have what we call them. Well, there's what they call them now in community. We used to have landlord association, the CDA and the CDC. So all over the federation, let us hold and protect government-owned property. It is ours. It's not the government of PDP. It's not the government of APC or government of Labour, which other parties are available. government of Abga, any other party. That I can mention.
ADC.
The coalition party, the coalition party, but is the property of Nigeria first and foremost. So Nigeria from Ifako Radio will beseech you, we appeal to you, protect the property, government-owned property, which is made for public use. Protect the library, protect the traffic light, protect the assets that are in place. Even protect the road. Don't allow people that are signing on the road to dug up your road that will not turn to dungeon, or that will make that road not to be motorable. It is your money that will pardon?
That will put large bottles.
Yes. So let us protect those property, and I know God will bless us. And this is from us, from Ifako Radio to the entire Nigeria.
So that will be all today on newspaper review. We hope you enjoyed our review today. Once again, my name is Victor. I'll see you tomorrow.
Olani David. So you can follow us on all social media, Ifako Radio, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. So all the social media, kindly follow us in Nigeria. So we're looking forward for you to come and partner with us with your advert and come and tell us whatever that is happening in your community. And I can assure you that we'll be there and we'll work together as a team to make your business grow. Thank you.
Thank
See
you
you
so
tomorrow.
much.